Have you ever observed that guys who chase rarely succeed in achieving their goals? It's not that they lack drive or desire, rather, it's that they lack a much more potent form of constraint, the type of reserve that engenders mystery and leaves a woman wondering. Desire. The part that drives her crazy is the part that makes her realize what she took for granted. In this video, we're dissecting why masculine men don't chase. Instead, they simply disappear, and why that disappearance isn't an act of weakness but rather a demonstration of strength. Let's start with Section 1, the power of presence, and how their silence is a statement, a boundary set with elegance and conviction. They understand a powerful truth: desperation repels, mystery attracts, and when a man knows his worth, he doesn't waste time persuading someone else of it. The influence of both presence and absence. First of all, a man's power is not only found in his capacity for presence, but also in his mastery of absence. This is similar to Stoicism, where emotional self-control is essential, in that a man can grow and reflect by knowing when to back off. It's not about running away from fear, but rather about carefully selecting times to withdraw, which increases your perceived worth and mystique. Consider it this way: in a world where everyone is always connected, being available at all times can actually dilute your presence. It's like diluting a great whiskey too much, and you lose what makes it unique. Because absence gives others the opportunity to miss you, appreciate the times you are there, and think back on what you bring to their lives. Masculine men are aware that their value is not diminished by absence, but rather increased. For example, imagine a situation in which a man chooses to focus on his own development rather than pursuing a distant potential partner. He keeps his composure around his interests and passions because of self-respect and inner stability rather than apathy. Characteristics of Stoic philosophy. Therefore, by doing this, he is actively becoming a more grounded and appealing person rather than merely waiting around. This strategy is very similar to the Stoic idea of concentrating on what you can control. You can't control other people's emotions or decisions, but you can control your own actions and reactions. By choosing strategic absence, you're aligning more with your values and less with the ephemeral whims of others. This not only builds your self-respect, but also naturally attracts people who value authenticity and depth. The next time you feel the need to pursue someone who might not be reciprocating your interest, keep in mind that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to step back and let your absence speak for you. It's not about making someone miss you out of resentment, but rather about respecting yourself so that you can grow and draw the right kind of people into your life. This way you stay true to yourself, and isn't that what being a truly masculine man is all about? Independence. Being self-sufficient draws people in. Being self-sufficient is quite alluring. It's a fundamental Stoic principle that emphasizes independence and self-reliance. When you are considered as self-sufficient, people find you to be more solid, dependable, and appealing. A self-sufficient man finds fulfillment and happiness in his own endeavors, accomplishments, and company. This does not imply that he avoids other people's company, but rather that he enters relationships out of a sincere desire to connect rather than out of necessity. This independence is appealing because it suggests a rich and fulfilled life, making you a partner who adds value rather than one who depends on the relationship to meet all of his emotional needs. In the Stoic school of thought, inner freedom and self-sufficiency go hand in hand. Stoics hold that true freedom stems from being self-sufficient in one's happiness and virtue. This means that your mood isn't affected by outside events or other people's behavior. Instead, you maintain a calm and stable presence that can serve as a beacon of strength and security to those around you. Additionally, when you are self-sufficient, you naturally exude confidence and are less likely to cling to demands or be needy, traits that can frequently strain relationships. By being self-reliant, you avoid these pitfalls and make yourself a more desirable companion. In practical terms, your stability becomes an asset, not only in romantic relationships, but in all of your social interactions. Developing your hobbies, making investments in your own personal development, and learning to take care of yourself are some ways to cultivate self-sufficiency. It also entails making decisions that are consistent with your values rather than just those that are motivated by the desire for validation or approval from others. Therefore, by adopting self-sufficiency, you not only align with Stoic virtues, but also increase your appeal to others. You become someone who naturally attracts others because you are strong, stable, and positive. This isn't just attractive, it's profoundly magnetic. Now, I'd like to know what self-sufficiency means to you and how you have observed it affects your relationships. Leave a remark below with your ideas. Please share your thoughts with me, or simply leave this statement if you're feeling motivated. Self-reliance is one of my strong points. Let's continue the discussion about Section 3 mystery as using mystery as a tactic. And let's discuss mystery. Keeping it up can make you seem more interesting and appealing, holding one's intentions close to the vest, which is a Stoic practice. It's not about being secretive or dishonest, but rather about being thoughtful about what you share and when you share it. This measured approach to personal revelation adds depth to your character and keeps you from becoming too predictable in the context of Stoicism. Sometimes, by keeping some aspects of yourself private, you invite others to learn more, which can deepen their interest. Think about the difference between someone who lays all their cards on the table right away and someone who reveals themselves slowly, layer by layer. The latter frequently keeps people curious and wanting more. This tactic focuses on self-control and environmental awareness. Stoics emphasize the need of paying attention to more than just talking and acting and speaking with intention. Using this in regular conversations, particularly when a relationship is just getting started, can provide a captivating charm. People are drawn to those with a quiet, confident demeanor. When you don't give everything away, you naturally encourage others to be more present and engaged in their interactions with you. They might pay closer attention, invest more time in understanding who you are, and in the process, a deeper bond can form. In practice, consider how you might hold back a little the next time you're sharing stories with someone new. For example, you might not reveal the ending of a story right away, or perhaps you leave some questions about your past open for future discussions. People who speak when they have something meaningful to say and listen carefully when others speak can also create more meaningful connections. This not only keeps the discussion going, but also lends you an attractive sense of intricacy. In addition to making you more intriguing, adopting a little mystery allows you to move through your social environment with grace and caution while adhering to the Stoic principles of virtue and wisdom. See Section 4. The emotional Stoics believe in an emotional economy where they invest their feelings where they yield the highest return. By choosing wisely where to direct their emotional energy, you can improve your relationships and preserve your peace by concentrating only on what really matters. This idea is similar to managing a financial portfolio. Just as you wouldn't invest in stocks or bonds without carefully weighing the risks and potential returns, it makes sense to invest in relationships and circumstances that are genuinely nurturing and beneficial rather than focusing your energies on people who are likely to cause you distress or discontent. By taking this selective approach, you're not being cold or unfeeling. Rather, you're choosing to direct your emotional resources toward interactions that are reciprocal and enriching. This not only protects your emotional well-being, but also makes you a more present and attentive friend or partner because you have more to offer to those who really matter. It's also easy to feel under pressure to keep up a large network of contacts and to respond to every small event in our lives and those of others. But by adopting the Stoics' emotional economy, You prioritize depth over breadth and concentrate on sustaining meaningful engagements. This Stoic principle also helps cultivate deeper connections based on quality rather than quantity. Investing in relationships that truly add value and joy to your life can mean, in practice, establishing boundaries, saying no when something doesn't fit with your values, or removing yourself from relationships that are continuously draining. It also entails being aware of how you respond to outside events and deciding not to allow every small setback to upset your emotional equilibrium. Adopting the Stoic approach to emotional economy is not only a protective measure, but also a calculated one that improves the quality of your interactions and your overall life satisfaction. By doing this, you not only stay true to yourself, but also establish yourself as someone that others respect and value for your emotional stability and wisdom. Section 5. Unpredictability. When utilized properly, unpredictability can be a useful weapon. For example, Stoics sometimes welcome the unexpected to challenge and fortify their spirit. A little unpredictability in your behavior can maintain the vibrancy and interest of your relationships. For example, if you're typically reserved, opening up in a moment of genuine vulnerability can add a new layer of depth to your relationships. Alternatively, if your routine is set, switching it up with impromptu plans can bring a refreshing twist to your usual interactions. The essence of this approach is not about being unpredictable or unreliable, but rather about adding an element of surprise that can enrich your interactions. By allowing you to move outside of your comfort zone in a regulated way, this Stoic-inspired unpredictability not only helps you develop yourself, but also prevents your relationships from stagnating. It's comparable to how a Stoic person can voluntarily endure discomforts like cold showers or fasting to strengthen their interpersonal fortitude. If you typically communicate with your partner or friend in a predictable manner, sending them a thoughtful message at an unexpected time or planning a surprise outing can have a big impact on how they view and value your relationship. Small, thoughtful unpredictabilities can be just as strengthening. These behaviors show them that you are considering them and that you appreciate the relationship enough to give it your full attention and ingenuity. Additionally, this strategy maintains the interest because just as a story becomes captivating with its turns and turns, so does a relationship with its unexpected joys. It demonstrates your commitment to keeping things interesting and worthwhile. In practice, try to avoid letting this unpredictability become inconsistent. The secret is moderation. You want to strike a balance between predictability and occasional surprises so that you come across as dynamic rather than unstable. In conclusion, adopting a moderate amount of unpredictability into your behavior is consistent with Stoic teachings of embracing the unexpected to strengthen your character and keep the spark in your relationships alive. You respect the comfort of routine while also embracing the growth that comes from change. As we explore the fascinating balance between stability and spontaneity, it's about identifying the sweet spot where the two combine to create a harmonious and satisfying interaction dynamic. I urge you to consider your personal encounters with relational ambiguity. Do you prefer a more predictable rhythm, or have you discovered that a little bit of unpredictability enhances your interactions? Post your ideas and anecdotes in the comments section below. Your perspectives enable us to all gain knowledge and develop from one another's experiences. Section 6. The art of letting go. The art of letting go. The art of letting go is among the most freeing concepts. Adopting this principle entails realizing and accepting that not everything in life is under our control, particularly when it comes to relationships. Stoicism teaches us to let go of the need to control outcomes, including chasing after someone. When you do this, you allow things to come to you naturally and without force. Stoics encourage us to concentrate on our own deeds and responses rather than attempting to control or forecast the actions of others. This detachment is not about being uncaring, but rather about realizing that our true power is within ourselves, not over others. Letting go can take many forms. For instance, if you're always attempting to gain someone's love or approval, taking a step back and concentrating on your own life and well-being can paradoxically attract more sincere interest and respect from others. It's about reorienting your attention from attempting to get someone else's reaction to improving your own quality of life and self-satisfaction. By letting go of the need to control every interaction, you cultivate a sense of ease and confidence that is naturally attractive. You become someone who is comfortable with uncertainty and change, which are inevitable parts of life. Additionally, the art of letting go involves forgiving and moving on from past hurts. This approach is in line with the Stoic practice of amorati, or love of fate, which encourages us to embrace life as it comes and find joy in whatever happens, including in relationships. Keeping grudges or regrets can tie us to unfavorable feelings and actions which can turn off rather than bring in good connections. You may create emotional space for more positive and fulfilling experiences in practice by practicing forgiveness, whether it be for yourself or others. By mastering the art of letting go, you align yourself with Stoic wisdom and foster a life that attracts positive, meaningful relationships in a natural, unforced manner, which not only makes you more appealing but also ensures that the relationships you do have are more satisfying and enduring. Letting go may mean not hurrying to fill silences in conversation, not planning every detail of how you interact with someone, or not reacting impulsively to perceived slights or rejections. Value through scarcity in Section 7. Scarcity makes things more valuable. Value via scarcity applies to both commodities and people. When you aren't always available, people think you're more valuable. Stoics understand the value of the rare over the common. Just as a rare work of art becomes valuable because it is unique, so does a person who does not overstretch themselves. When you are not always available, you inherently instill a sense of rarity and value around your time and presence. This does not imply that you should make yourself scarce. Rather, it emphasizes living a truly active existence that isn't centered around just one individual or group. This idea is quite similar to Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes independence and self-sufficiency. Stoics look within themselves for happiness rather than relying too much on other people. When you are less available, it encourages others to make the most of the time they do have with you, because they may learn to value your presence and contributions more deeply because they know that your time with them is not given lightly. This is not about playing hard to get, but rather about respecting your own time and letting others value it as well. In relationships, whether personal or professional, applying the principle of scarcity can result in healthier dynamics. This internal fulfillment guarantees that when a Stoic does choose to spend time with others, it is meaningful and intentional, which increases their perceived value. It shows others that your time is valued, which can result in stronger, more balanced connections. It keeps relationships from being one-sided or taken for granted. Additionally, leading a life free from excessive commitment to others enables you to pursue your interests and personal development, which only serves to increase your attractiveness. People are drawn to people who are engaged, passionate, and interested in the world around them, qualities that naturally arise when you manage your availability and invest in yourself. Therefore, embracing scarcity is not just about making yourself appear more desirable. It's a practical application of Stoic wisdom that leads to a more balanced and fulfilling life. By valuing your own time, you teach others to do the same, improving the quality of your relationships overall. I encourage you to consider how controlling your availability has affected your relationships. Have you observed a change in how people value your presence and time when you're not always available? If you agree with this philosophy, share your experiences in the comments section below, or just type "Scarcity enhances respect." This reflection not only helps us better understand the Stoic teachings, but also highlights the usefulness of putting these ideas into practice in our daily lives. Let's now explore how this idea of scarcity can promote healthier and more balanced relationships. Section 8. Challenging perceptions. Changing attitudes by questioning accepted dating conventions. When you adhere to the Stoic ideals of challenging and analyzing life's norms, you may experience personal. It's simple to follow the beaten path of expectations and social norms when it comes to dating and relationships, but adopting a Stoic mindset challenges you to consider why things are the way they are and whether they must be. Stoicism teaches us to live according to reason and virtue rather than just tradition or social pressure. Applying this critical analysis to dating not only makes you stand out, but it also opens the door for more genuine and meaningful connections. For example, by questioning the conventional wisdom that men should initiate contact or that playing hard to get is a successful tactic, you can, instead of using games and pretenses, you promote an honest and transparent conversation. This does not imply ignoring all customs, but rather assessing which ones are useful and which might be preventing you from developing real relationships. Additionally, by differentiating yourself in this way, you draw in people who value your independence. This can be very refreshing in a dating environment that is frequently dominated by superficial interactions and unwritten rules, because it demonstrates that you are someone who thinks deeply about how to live well rather than just following the crowd. A fundamental tenet of Stoic thought. Being loyal to your own values and preferences rather than embracing those that are imposed by peer pressure or popular culture is another way to challenge views. Whether you value quality time over ostentatious gestures, or whether you prefer in-depth discussions over casual banter, being honest about your preferences can help you connect with people who share them. In practice, this could mean stating that you prefer meaningful relationships to casual encounters, or coming up with unusual date ideas that better suit your interests and personality. By doing this, you not only live more authentically but also grant others permission to do the same. 9 acts of Stoic serenity. In action, Stoic calmness embraces being Stoic. In your interactions demonstrates maturity and wisdom. It involves keeping your cool and not getting swayed by relationship ups and downs. Stoic serenity isn't about being emotionless or detached. Rather, it's about controlling your emotions so that you can react to any circumstance with composure and clarity. This trait is particularly useful in relationships where emotions can run high and conflicts can quickly worsen. You show that you can deal with challenging circumstances without losing your composure, which may be a very comforting and appealing quality. Imagine a situation where you and the person you are dating have a disagreement. It could be tempting to respond rashly, perhaps becoming defensive or frustrated. A Stoic attitude would advise you to stand aside, evaluate the circumstances impartially, and react in a way that seeks to end the disagreement rather than make it worse. This demonstrates not only self-control, but also a sincere desire to keep the relationship strong and stable. Additionally, Stoic tranquility enables you to appreciate the good times more, since you realize that they are amazing but temporary. This balanced viewpoint keeps you from getting too attached to highs or too depressed by lows. It promotes a healthy independence where your happiness is not entirely reliant on your relationship status or your partner's behavior. In practice, this could mean pausing to gather your thoughts before replying to a heated text message, or choosing to communicate your feelings in a calm and straightforward manner rather than in a charged or accusatory way. It also means taking proactive steps to manage stress and take care of yourself. Understanding that keeping your personal balance benefits not just you, but also your relationships, some people find that bringing Stoic tranquility into their dating life improves interactions and fosters greater resilience and contentment. It assists you in creating partnerships that are not only passionate, but also calm and steady, demonstrating a level of maturity that genuinely embodies what it means to be in charge of your life and feelings. Section 10. The return that includes the return with a newfound sense of vitality. Lastly, if you decide to return to the scene, do it with fresh energy and insight. When you take a break from dating or a specific relationship to concentrate on improving yourself, you're not merely taking a vacation, you're actively developing your character traits and viewpoints. This is similar to the Stoic practice of retreating for self-improvement and coming back stronger, which can be very compelling in personal dynamics. This time of seclusion serves as a Stoic exercise in introspection and fortitude. When you return to the dating scene after such a retreat, you carry with you a renewed sense of self and a new depth of character. It's about re-evaluating your objectives, wants, and behaviors to make sure they line with your highest ideals and aspirations. This newfound energy isn't just about outward or physical changes, rather, it's a deep internal development that improves your relationships and makes you more interesting and appealing. It demonstrates your dedication to personal excellence and your capacity to use alone time to promote meaningful personal development. Think about the impact of returning with tales of new experiences, insights, or hobbies developed. This not only makes you more interesting, but it also shows that you are dynamic and capable of evolving and adapting. It also shows that you are constantly learning and growing. Additionally, this approach can revitalize current relationships or provide a new spark for new ones. Your refreshed outlook can inspire others and draw in like-minded people who are also dedicated to personal development. In practice, your return may be characterized by novel dating strategies. Maybe you meet individuals with greater awareness, or you communicate with them with a new degree of candor and openness. Perhaps you've gained confidence or adopted a more laid-back dating style, all of which can significantly impact how people view you. By incorporating this Stoic practice of strategic retreat and return, you not only improve your own attractiveness, but also set an example for a lifestyle that prioritizes development and rejuvenation. This encourages people around you to think about their own routes to personal growth, in addition to laying a solid basis for wholesome interactions. Through today's investigation, we have discovered the potent Stoic principles of deliberate silence and strategic absence, which can significantly improve your relationships and personal development. By mastering the subtle art of selective presence and embracing quiet times, you develop not only stability and self-respect, but also an irresistible charm. Consider how these realizations might alter your perspective on presence and absence in your life. Could embracing silence be the secret to your next significant relationship success? If you felt this video was insightful, please like it, and let us know in the comments below which part most spoke to you. Also, don't forget to watch the other suggested videos on your screen for additional perspectives on relationships and Stoicism. Your participation is what keeps our community moving ahead. Thank you for watching, and keep in mind that sometimes the most meaningful things are said in silence. Until the next time, keep studying the Stoic road to observe how it changes your relationships and your life.